We've had contact with these folks here pretty regularly, so they're familiar with who he was, who they were dealing with. And so the call for service was that this individual is down in our downtown core area, vandalizing some of the Christmas decorations that the city had installed, committing criminal mischief. And so again, they were familiar with him, and the RP pointed out where he was walking. They saw where he was. They communicated to each other because they were not together initially, the officers.
So this guy up here on the right that's walking, that's our guy. Stop! Stop, you're gonna get restrained.
So the first officer that comes on the video sees him and tries to give him commands.
You need to stop.
And the gentleman was saying a lot of things that were unintelligible or that just weren't making any real sense. And they made the determination they were going to detain him for that criminal violation. And again, we always encourage use the BolaWrap early and often in a contact so that we don't have to use higher applications of force. And that's exactly what you see in the video here. With his wanton disregard for their commands and willful resistance, they deployed that BolaWrap to stop his movement, his forward movement. And as you can see, they actually deployed around his lower legs, and the lower leg was a target area initially, which actually did redirect his attention down to his lower body. The second officer felt that the suspect was actually was going to reach down to try to pull the tether off. So that's when he immediately deployed that second wrap to the upper body and the wrist to the forearm area, which then, as you saw, wrapped him up, and they were able to grab and take control of him and take him into custody safely. Particularly in the winter months where we're at with the snow and the climate, he's wearing a heavy jacket. The first one wrapped his lower legs, and it did have the effect that we wanted, but then they're able to deploy that second one to the upper body almost as a backup to really secure him from moving any further. And with respect to the communication, you hear them both clearly talk about and announce Bola, Bola, Bola ahead of the deployment to let their partners certainly know what was going on, and should we have any other agencies in the immediate area, and we do have several, including the sheriff's office or the state patrol, they know that that's not a situation of where sympathetic fire might come into play because they hear that clear announcement.
I wasn't supposed to have this happen again at all. I don't have any guns. Okay.
And I'd like to add in your observation there, when he says, I don't have any guns or et cetera, prior to this happening, there was mention that he said he wanted to be shot immediately. He wanted the police officer to shoot him immediately, which obviously raises their height for concern. He was making comments about something to the effect of killing another judge and harming the former Attorney General of the United States. So all his statements were consistent with higher levels of violence. And so here, when these officers were able to take control of him, I think, in my opinion, we were able to avoid a situation that could have quickly escalated and even could include somebody being shot or killed. If we had not had this technology available, and even the officers noted in the criminal report that they would have had to use physical force, a taser, or potentially a police baton, an impact weapon. So they would have been forced into a physical confrontation with him. But having this technology available to them really minimized their exposure to injury to them, and then of course to the suspect, which is always a benefit for everybody involved.
Okay. Great. Good job.
Everybody's safe?
Everybody's safe.
And so thank you again for that opportunity, really supporting our department and law enforcement as an industry worldwide with this technology.